So welcome back, everybody. This is Paul again, another in my series about consciousness and becoming aware and how I do know things. And I thought today I would talk a little bit about just basic techniques to try to expand our awareness. And as I mentioned in other videos, it's really very, very simple. There have been great teachers who suggested and said that basically a superconscious state is a natural state for a human being, the so-called natural state. And it reminded me of another funny quote that I heard was attributed to Buddha, who was asked, how long does it take to reach nirvana or have realization? And he said, just do absolutely nothing for 15 seconds. And if we just look at our modern life, people live like in a hurry. And it reminds me of being on a train and you're looking out the window, you can't see a damn thing, it's just going by very, very, very fast. And if you suddenly decide, hey, you know, I really want to see that, what do you actually have to do? Well, you have to stop. And I mean, people who live their lives, they say, I have no time for meditation. I don't know what's wrong with my life. I don't know why, I don't have time. And you just say, well, if you're standing on the accelerator, of course you got to stop. Somewhere along the line you have to put in your little calendar there, I got to stop. Because like even people who fly planes and they travel long distances, it's all like, yeah, you have to go. And in an airplane you want to go fast. But before you go fast and after you go fast, there's a lot of stop time. And if you try to use an airplane and to try to go on a road, that's the wrong way to do it. Yeah, it has wheels and it could probably do it, but man, there'd be a lot of problems. In our vehicle, if we have a complex life that we say, well, we need to go fast, we need to make a big plan, we need to build an empire, whatever, you still have to have that time, all the more reason to gather oneself, prep oneself, and then take off. And instead of trying to, like I fly airplanes, I have some basic flying experience, and you have to manage your travel. It's a big operation. There's a lot going on in the cockpit and around you. But even before then, you have to sit and you plan the whole thing out. What is all available information? So anybody who has, you know, a typical excuse is, well, I don't have time for that. And it's too complicated. Now, I want to get into that a little bit because it's really not complicated. Meditation, like I said, it's a natural experience. Children experience a stream of awareness. And if they don't have too many interruptions in their awareness when they're growing up and they're allowed to follow their curiosity and so on, most children learn very fast. And the same it is with our own psyche. Trying to understand who we are. If you start defining yourself by a personality, already you're limited. So again, how do you understand who are you? And ultimately, again, just stopping, completely stopping and realizing, oh, I mean, is it so difficult? I mean, you try to give a toddler a nap and they go, you know, deep down they really, really want a nap. But you try to catch them and like, okay, I don't want a nap, I'm going to fight with it. But when you get into the bed and they lie down, ah, it feels so good. The same way with relaxing our awareness and allowing ourselves to ascend, just expand. Allow our perception vehicle which is beyond all our senses. Yes, we have these senses again, but beyond all their senses, there's a kind of underlying awareness, a quiet place. And deep down, every person wants to be there. And it's not difficult. A lot of people say, well, this is so difficult. I can't be a yogi. I can't do this. No, it's not difficult. It's not doing anything. It's sleep. Deep meditation is like as restful as sleep, but you're awake. Not necessarily with your eyes open, but there is awareness. And another question that comes up a lot of times when people talk about the value of something a practice might be. Okay, well, supposing I have time, I'll make some, but what am I going to get from it? What's the benefit, you know? Well, the benefits of a lifetime of reflection and calmness, you can't even measure them. I mean, it just, for me, when I practice in my life, and I've been doing this for over 40 years, if I practice, it always works. And it always feels better. And if I practice, there's just so many benefits. It comes down to my health and my relations and my confidence and my creativity and every single part of my life, right up to the very last breath. So when people hesitate, they say, well, I don't want to practice. Well, why not? I mean, can you spare a half an hour a day? Can you spare like maybe an hour a day? I mean, how much time do people spend watching TV and just taking in all this stuff? Most of it's not even good. And the practice of meditation, again, is so simple. They say that in the womb, an infant is in a deep place of awareness. And if you're around a pregnant woman or infants, you know, you can feel that there's a lot more consciousness associated with that young form than we give credit for. Because a lot of our physical perceptions are really blind, because when we look at, for example, another human being, a lot of times people look at another human being and they don't see an absolute fantastic creation. They don't see just like, oh my God, like eyes, healing. I mean, they were a little tiny cell one time and now they're doing all these things, and they might be a genius. They might be creating all kinds of things and having families and just amazing human being, every single person. If we're not looking at other human beings that way, we're not even as conscious as we should be of our own glory and existence. And again, for me, it's like appreciation. Just the fact of stopping. Listening. One of the greatest books I ever read was the Upanishads, and I still read it often as I can. And it's basically just about sitting and listening. Just if we want to have a great life in our consciousness, in our physical health, then it really pays to just listen. Okay, I don't have to believe everything I hear, but if I just have that receptivity and openness, because some little thing that you hear in your life, something that someone says or does for you, can make a huge difference in your life. And you know, we all know this. One single day, this day or tomorrow, or one day can completely change your life in a good way. And we don't have any assumptions about the future. So, again, I've been trying to talk about perception, and it begins with just stopping. It's just stopping all that stuff that gets in the way of just being aware. And when we do that, especially if we help our body with some health and try to keep it clean, our whole organism is a sensing. Our being, every hair in our body, every cell in our body, every piece of DNA in our body is a sensing organism. And we live in it. There's a soup, an amazing soup of trillions of cells that we live in. And regardless of how the theory is, well, how did we get created? Was it random? Oh yeah, it was just random, like the one chance is a gazillion that the whole thing happened. But regardless, future lifetime, who knows? But this lifetime that we're existing in is pretty damn amazing. And if we're not shown that and told that and helped to understand that in our life, we're missing something. I mean, people want to be healthy. Well, why do you want to be healthy? So you can watch more TV? So you can just go bowling? So you won't miss the Super Bowl 99? That's why you want to be healthy? Or do you want to be healthy so that you can expand your awareness to include the maximum amount of bliss and joy and awareness and creativity that you can in this lifetime, before whatever happens later? And in addition, pass that down, teach other people, share, have a dance through this life. So again, I really encourage people to just come to rest sometimes. If you got an empire to run, fine. Just put it over there for half an hour. Say, look, you know, my empire is going to run just a lot better if I just sit here for, God, a few minutes, half an hour. And if you're panicking because your little hovel that you lived in got taken away from out, you don't know where you're going to go next, at least you can stop and, same thing, rise above, collect. Maybe if I have an empire, I know I could lose it. If I'm living in a cave right now, I know in the future maybe that I'll live in a palace. It doesn't, but all of it is just your consciousness has to be there. And again, don't want to belabor this too much, but there are simple techniques, and the most simple of all really is about just doing nothing. Stopping. And I'm going to talk a little more about some of the values and the benefits of just trying to be more conscious, and a little bit more about technical things of how simple observations and simple attitudes in life can make a huge difference in our clarity. So thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.